Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you, and today we have a stellar video for you. I'm really excited to do this one. We're going to talk about the peptide AOD9604. But before we get into that, I want to thank everybody that's out there liking, subbing, sharing, all the loyalty, the comments. It's amazing. Thank you so much for the support. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, like, share, comment, whatever you can do. It helps the channel grow, and it's going to allow me to produce more and more content for you each and every day. Also, today's video is sponsored by letsgetchecked.com, my favorite place and yours too. Letsgetchecked.com specializes in at-home blood testing. It's seamless, it's easy, it's discreet. All you have to do is go to the website, pick out whatever blood test that you want to order, and they cover it all. They do full hormonal panels. They do men, women. They do COVID testing. They do sexual health. They do it all. All you have to do is pick out your test. Use the code Gemelli30. It's going to save you 30% off your entire order. All right, after you do that, they're going to ship it to you. You can have it overnighted. Otherwise, it's going to come priority. It's going to come quick. Then all you do is turn around, mail it right back to them in the prepaid postage. And then once they get there, they're going to give you the results. You can go right online, get your results, and then you can ask questions to nurses and doctors right then and there. It's amazing. And like I said, it's seamless, it's discreet, it's easy, and it's quick. So letsgetchecked.com. Check them out. Use the code Gemelli30 to save yourself 30% off. All right, let us talk about this peptide, AOD9604. All right, this is an intriguing one, all right, because this one is really catching fire lately. Now, I've known about it for a long time, but not like I do with several other things. I've heard about it. I've seen people that have used it. I've obviously studied it, but I don't have a ton of, over these years. It just hasn't, it's been one of those things. And I try to kind of specialize in finding things that people don't talk about or know about much. And I'm trying to catch this one before it gets crazy insane, because I think it's going to. Now, peptides themselves, they've pretty much been developed to meet different varieties of health needs, and that's why there's so many different options. And we know that there's some for healing. We've got so many, GHRPs with your different types of growth hormone releases. You've got your IGF, you've got your melanotrans. I mean, the range, it's high, and there's so many different things. This is about fat loss, and that is why it's so popular, because as we know, anything that relates into fat loss, it seems to have more intrigue in it. And let's be real, as much as we are aiming to gain size, strength, muscle, more people than not are wanting to lose fat, lose weight, etc. That is not me just saying that. That is by the numbers. I've been around this entire industry for 20 years, and I see what sells the most, and it's always related to fat loss. So that's why it's got so much intrigue. Now, the peptide itself, AOD9604, what it is, it's a modified form of amino acids. It's number 176-191, and that was originally used as an anti-obesity drug. Now, what it does, it can actually stimulate your pituitary gland, and that's going to then kind of speed up your metabolism, and then you're going to burn body fat. Now, it can improve the results of dietary restrictions and exercise as well. So there's a lot of functions here, a lot of areas that it's hitting. It's not just a fat burner, and you got to understand how it works. So it's essentially regulating how your body's metabolizing fat. But you need to understand how it does that when I say that. So first and foremost, what it does is it stimulates lipolysis, which is the breakdown of fats and lipids. And what happens is that there's a hydrolyzation of triglycerides into glycerol and fatty acids. And then it also does this by inhibiting lipogenesis. And what that is the metabolic process that forms fat, even from non-fat foods. And what it does is it increases the amount of triglycerides within your body. So the amino acids that are actually contained in AOD are the same ones that are found in a naturally occurring growth hormone that's associated with growth. Now, there was a study, and it was at strange name, Monash University, and it discovered that these are all involved in fat reduction. Now, representing about 10% or so of the molecule, the chemical itself doesn't actually seem to affect growth or insulin resistance when it's administered alone, so it doesn't have any adverse effects on human growth or on blood sugar levels. Now, some of the researchers out there did also discover that the benefits for AOD aren't just limited to fat loss, which makes it even more intriguing. It has other like regenerative properties. And so besides people that are maybe obese, needing to lose weight, etc., if you're somebody that has like osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, worn cartilage, things like that, bone damage, all of these things, it can also help with that. So it does have these types of healing benefits as well. That's amazing. Imagine if like BPC 157 or TB 500 had all these massive weight loss, benefits with it as well. Now, how do you take it? Well, it's either taken orally by a like dissolvable lozenge, which is not very common, or by injection, which we generally know. Now, when injected 30 minutes before eating, it can be fully metabolized and you're going to achieve optimal results. But most people only need one injection per day, and they do it in the morning, generally. Some do multiple injections, but it's not necessary. 300 micrograms a day is the actual dose that you want to be taking when it's related to fat loss. So how does this, what do you get from this? How does it relate to you? So what happens is that the chemical itself, it targets areas of the body where there are abnormally high levels of fat. So you can experience even like a higher caloric burn by exercising and consuming a lower calorie diet, which is kind of obvious. Now, if you compare it to traditional hormone-based weight like fat loss treatments, there's no side effects, which makes it even more desirable. So what you do is you inject it under the skin. It's a sub-Q injection, as most of you know, subcutaneous. The typical procedure is to just place the needle into the vial, fill it up into your insulin syringe, and then inject it. It's absorbed extremely fast into your bloodstream, and you want to go into areas like with a little more fat where you can pinch. Abdomen is generally used. You just got to be able to pinch a little bit and just pop it right in. Now, when you store it, it's just like any other peptide that you store. If you're not familiar, you've got to be very careful with it. They're very, very fragile. You've got to put it in a cool temperature. So once it's open and reconstituted, they can really break down. Peptides can if they're exposed to higher temperatures. So you've got to refrigerate it. You want the temperature like 36 to 46 Fahrenheit. I don't know how that translates to Celsius off the top of my head, but that can produce it for about up to 4 weeks without any degradation whatsoever. But you've got to also look the use by date on there and make sure, just check everything over. You want COAs on everything to make sure it's legit as well. Take it on an empty stomach, all right? What's going to happen, the chemical itself is going to absorb into, and it's going to flow through your bloodstream a lot easier when you haven't eaten. So for optimal results, wait like 30 to 45 minutes after your last meal of the day, or take it in the morning fasted, which is what I generally prefer myself with it. Now that I've been around more people that have done it, I've monitored it and I've seen it work. That's what my recommendation would be. Now, understand, this is not some fast fat loss thing. It can take like 12 weeks before you're going to see results, and that's different from each person. Some people are going to see it a lot faster than others. But it's going to be different from other people, all right? And there's so many things that go into that. Your diet, your training, your genetics, how you respond to certain things. It's totally different. A range of different personal attributes are going to affect the results. Age, family, history, health risks, and background. There's so many things, all right? Just understand that you've got to put in the work with the diet and the training too. These things can do some serious things for you. These compounds, these steroids, SARMs, peptides, whatever. But you got to put the work in, or it's just you're never going to get what you should out of it. It's so promising, and it's becoming one of the most fast and popular, widely used, whatever you want to call it. It's really catching on, and some people that don't see results, they want to blame it on this, and this, but it's because they're not putting in the work and the time. And, I got no issue ever clearly with people using things to get over, whatever plateaus, whatever hump, wherever they're caught. My issue is with the people that just think you're just not going to do anything and just get magic results, and this should do this and this should do that, with the complete and utter misconception. And not only that, I'm not Mr. Dad here. I mean, if you knew me like off camera especially, I know I can get lectury and things like that, but if you knew me, I'm as fucking easygoing and cool as they come. I don't give a shit about any of that, but I will say, if you're not putting in the work, you don't fucking deserve it, dude. Like, seriously, you just don't. Like, I don't know what you expect. We all of us that want to look good, we go bust our ass. And, you know, most of us, I can't say 100%, but most of us, for whatever the goals we have to, I mean, I know for some that people don't appreciate my look, for example, but some do. And the people that are after this kind of look, I'm 40 years old. I don't have these ultimate ultra genetics. I can gain weight really easy. I can lose it really easy. That's why people will say, oh, you're smaller. Dude, and if you go back and look, I can gain weight so fast. And it scares me, you know, and I have to eat really strict. I do an hour and a half of cardio per day, which is probably very excessive, but that's, you know, I'm a runner and I enjoy it. But the point is everybody's different. Some people can do cardio 30 minutes and be fucking jack shredded ripped. You somebody like me, I have to put in serious time. The point is everybody's putting in time and everybody's following some kind of diet, some kind of training regimen. And if you don't, you're never going to get what you should, and your expectations need to come right down. So there's my lecture for the day. There's Dad. All right, that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.